Welcome to this explainer. We're diving straight into a massive topic today. We're going to look at why the current approach to AI safety, despite all the splashy headlines and new laws, is actually missing a crucial foundational piece. If you're tracking where frontier AI is headed and how we actually keep it secure, you're absolutely in the right spot. Let's get right into it.
So let's kick things off with a pretty counterintuitive question. Can an AI pass a safety test and still be dangerous? Now, your gut reaction might be, well, no, obviously not. If it passes the test, it's safe, right? But as we're going to see as we unpack the source material today, the answer is a resounding yes, it absolutely can be dangerous. And wrapping our heads around why that's the case, that's the real key to the future of frontier AI safety.
Section 1. The AI Safety Illusion. Checking the outputs.
Right now, we're actually seeing some really solid regulatory progress around artificial intelligence across the country. States are joining the push for frontier AI safety, and they're rightfully turning up the heat for better standards. I mean, they're pushing for transparency, demanding rigorous audits, and requiring incident reporting. And look, these are all objectively good things, right? We want transparency. We want to know when things go wrong. But these regulations all share one massive, gaping blind spot.
And it really boils down to this. Currently, our safety laws are hyper-focused on auditing outputs. It's a lot like tasting a freshly baked cake just to see if it's safe to eat. Sure, it might taste totally fine on the surface, but we're completely ignoring the inputs. We have no idea where the ingredients actually came from. Were they expired? Were they contaminated? If you're only auditing the output without ever tracing the input, your safety check is fundamentally incomplete.
Section 2. The hidden data gap. The missing ingredients.
The crucial point here is wrapping our heads around data provenance. We're defining this as tracing which specific training data shaped an AI system's outputs. Think of it like a receipt for literally every piece of information the AI ever learned from. Because if you can't trace that training data, if you don't have that receipt in hand, all of those output safety measures we just talked about, they're completely missing their foundation.
Now, why does this matter so much? Well, because when an AI learns from compromised data, and by that I mean biased information, completely unverified sources, or just, garbage scraped from the darkest corners of the internet, it's essentially learning from a poisoned well. The entire underlying foundation of that model is flawed right out of the gate.
Which leads us to a pretty highly concerning reality. Because of this exact data gap, a model can absolutely ace every single output safety test we throw at it in the lab, yet it can still amplify severe harms downstream when it's finally released into the real world. Honestly, if the foundation is built on bias or unverified garbage, no amount of output filtering is going to completely sanitize that system. It's just not possible.
Section 3. The Emerging Regulatory Framework. The Mounting Pressure.
And major states are definitely starting to catch on to this. They're mounting pressure. Look at Illinois, for example. Senate Bill 315 might require incident reporting directly tied back to training data quality. California is looking at demanding strict data lineage documentation. And New York? They could even mandate contributor disclosure for sensitive data sets. So what we're seeing is a unified push across these major legislative hubs to demand strict documentation, lineage, and disclosure about exactly what goes into AI training data.
What you really need to take away from this is that as these states demand more transparency, the AI industry is going to hit a massive brick wall. Developers are going to urgently need infrastructure that actually proves the exact origin of their data, who verified it, and what biases it might be carrying. And the scary part, right now, most companies just don't have a reliable way to prove this to regulators.
Section 4. Code data, the missing infrastructure, building the technical backbone.
Which brings us to the technological fix that's designed specifically to fill this massive compliance gap. It's called CoData, and CoData uses something really fascinating, on-chain data provenance with cryptographic attribution. Now, I know that's a mouthful, but this elegant technical solution essentially creates an unchangeable, mathematically verifiable record of exactly where data came from. It completely transforms data provenance from just being this nice-to-have feature for researchers into an absolute, rock-solid necessity for legal compliance, a real game changer.
Let's break down how this works. CodaData's model provides the technical backbone for these incoming regulations through three distinct, really powerful components.
The first step is verifiable contributions. This ensures we know exactly who provided the data and, just as importantly, who verified its safety. So there's no more guessing where a dataset was scraped from. The whole shebang is explicitly proven and recorded for good.
Then, the next steps are transparent lineage and royalty-backed accountability. This basically guarantees that there is a clear, unbroken, and accountable path tying the final deployed AI model all the way back to its original data contributors. And get this, by attaching this brilliant royalty-backed accountability, it actually creates a powerful financial incentive for high-quality, safe, and verifiable data to be used in the first place. Is really a win-win.
Section 5, where true safety starts, redefining AI security.
As we wrap up this explainer, we really need to fundamentally redefine our understanding of what AI safety actually means in practice. To quote the source here, the real safety innovation isn't just auditing models. It's making the data pipeline auditable, attributed, and verifiable from contribution to deployment. And that quote right there just perfectly summarizes our journey today. True innovation isn't just checking the final product, it's making the entire pipeline verifiable from the very first data point to the final deployment. So, I'll leave you with this final, vital question to ponder. If we don't know exactly what an AI learned from, can we ever truly trust what it says? As we've seen today, tracing those original ingredients isn't just some administrative checkbox. It's literally where frontier AI safety actually starts. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and keep questioning the data behind the answers.